So guys, it's David here and it's day 391. I hope you guys are doing well and like always are doing better than yesterday. Now, I was just at a street side barbecue with my dad and some of his friends to eat some dinner, of course. They were having amazing barbecue skewers and kebabs while I, being disciplined of course on my diet, bought some chicken breast from the supermarket, got some fruits and allowed the chef whatever to cook it up, and I ate my meal while they enjoyed their delicious meal. And when I mean delicious, I mean it is absolutely delicious. Now, staying disciplined on this trip was very easy, right? It proved to be pretty easy because I have consolidated the belief that I am someone who sticks with his diet, who is not going to be tempted by certain foods when he's on vacation or tempted by eating food that is pointless because I don't have this pleasure of just eating random food, right? And it's just, what joy does it give me, guys? Besides me putting on a few pounds or putting on a few kilograms just for the satisfaction of trying something delicious, right? To try something with taste. I don't think that is worthwhile. And I am pretty disciplined, I would say, on my choice of eating out and my choice on staying consistent with my meal plan, because I do believe myself to be a bodybuilder, right? Self-proclaimed professional, whatnot, obviously not professional, but it's just the mentality and the belief that I have, well, ingrained, a part of my identity that has allowed me to fight off certain temptations and urges that does not add value to my life. Now, if I can do something similar or something exact into my work, in how I can stay disciplined to perhaps code for extended amount of hours, or perhaps stay disciplined to try and uncover a problem or feel a pain point in the market's need. If I can have such discipline in these areas, then I do believe reaching my goals, getting rich, helping out my family financially, being financially free myself will be pretty easy. Because at the end of the day, guys, having discipline will literally bring you across the border. No matter where you aim to go, without discipline, you're not going to get there. You see, and even with my current discipline success on perhaps staying away from junk food or perhaps staying away from foods that is not allocated and planned in my diet, I had great success because I have, at a subconscious level, right, told myself and reinforced this belief that I will only eat food that I can cook and I can measure, something that I can control, right? Because it is something that is always in my control. The food we put in our mouth, the water or perhaps liquid we tend to drink, the things we choose to do or not do has always been in our control. So understanding this and really taking advantage of this fact allowed me to stay focused, right, and stay consistent in a way to not indulge in things that I should not be indulging in because they only fill a void of curiosity and perhaps complacency. And that is to eat delicious food or eat sugar or all the etc. because I crave it, And if we constantly give in to our cravings and temptations, then we never will truly be great at what we want to do because we are constantly bothered by so many distractions, so many temptations, and the world will never stop giving us such temptations. But it is up to us to say no to them. It is up to us to say, no, I don't need this. I don't need this because this isn't vice. It is not going to add value to my life, but rather it is only going to create a liability that I have to take care on later down my life. And I don't want to, be old and have all these liabilities because I couldn't control my tongue, because I couldn't control my hunger, because I couldn't control my cravings. I don't want to be old with all these regrets and sicknesses and illness because I couldn't control myself. It is a very sad thing, and certainly I have seen a lot of my family members who fall victim to such things. And it's not just about eating food, drinking, smoking, drinking alcohol, or perhaps just making bad choices. All these things is something we all have control, but we choose not to because it is always more satisfying to give in to our urges, to give in to such cravings, because in the moment, for whatever reason, it fills a void, right? It fills a void and it gives us this sense of achievement, right? Whatever this achievement it is that you chase, whatever this feel-good chemical you chase in the moment, we all feel great when we eat the bar of chocolate. We all feel great when we smoke a blunt. We all feel great when we take a sip of vodka. We all feel great in these moments when we give in to our body's cravings. But if we continually do this, then we are only going to live in a life filled of illnesses and sickness when we are old, not achieving our goals, not reaching our dreams, and just living every single day hoping that we could go back into our past and change our behaviors, to slap ourselves in the face and say, you stubborn fuck, if you only stay consistent, if you only put it down, then maybe you would be someone tomorrow, right? But you're not. And we will continuously be nobody if we cannot control something so little, right? Something so trifling, something that should not even be of your most concern. But really, building discipline is that easy. It simply is just putting down things that is not going to add value to your life. But you can only really have success in such things if you believe that you are someone who is not going to do something that you are trying to resist based on willpower. You have to believe you're someone more. You have to believe you're someone great to resist such temptations. Because when that moment comes, and it will take time for you to embody that identity, that persona or person, right? That fights off such temptation without the need of willpower. But if you constantly just remind yourself unconsciously, right, when the thought or urge comes into your mind, you have to remind yourself that I am not this. And over time, something magical happens. You tend to not even repeat that you are not this person because you have already told yourself the same story for so many times when the similar temptations surfaces in our mind or in your mind. And when you do this in an amount of times, that will be a default response. You would not need to spend any more will to fight off such urge. And I do believe I have achieved this in my ability to resist certain delicacies, certain cuisines, or certain delicious foods in my life, right? And I'm totally fine with that because that is putting me one step ahead of me in my goal of fitness, in my goal of bodybuilding. Now, if I can do the same in working, if I can do the same in my creative thoughts, and I know I will because I will find a way, then I do believe life will just be a little bit better. But with that being said, I'm going to eat some food now, some fruits, because it is quite late and I still have about 1,000 calories left. So yeah, gonna have another feast. But that being said, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's been a great night. It's been a great week after, realizing that I am definitely far from perfection and I have so much things to improve on. And when you realize you have things you can improve on, then you can work towards improving in those areas of life. I'll see you guys then.